Hello there, and welcome to your weekly forecast. The channeled message for this week is be where your feet are. Simply, when you are washing the dishes, be washing the dishes. When you're taking the dog for a walk, be on the walk with the dog. Do you know what I'm saying? Humans have this amazing ability. We can project into the future. We can run back to the past. We can be in a parallel timeline. What if this happened? What if that happened? What if this? What if that? Yada, yada. And we have this amazing power to basically, it's like send our molecules elsewhere. But the more spread out and diffused our molecules are, the less centered, grounded, and present we feel, and therefore the less available we are for the synchronicities and the things that are happening in this moment. So while you're off in a projected future, maybe you miss a little signpost telling you, hey, just a little to the left. Do you know what I'm saying? It is also, what Spirit was saying was, it's also why the world feels a part of why the world and human beings feel so frazzled and disconnected right now is all of us are projecting into all sorts of different realities rather than occupying this one. You feel me? The more you occupy your present reality, the better able you are to transform it into something you desire rather than fantasizing or ruminating. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's get into the weekly forecast, going day by day with what we need to know most, Spirit, for our highest good, for our alignment, joy, ease, abundance, fulfillment. This week, Spirit, what is the wave? Help bring our attention, our focus to where it serves us best, serves our highest good, starting with today. It is Monday. It is the beginning of the week. It sure is. But does it feel like the beginning of the week, or does it feel like you've been at it for a while? We have the Nine of Wands and Temperance. You are near the edge of a finish line, but boy, you are feeling all of the work and all of the time you've put in. You're bandaged up, but you should see the other guy. That's the joke with the Nine of Wands, is like you won. And you are winning despite the fact that you are feeling beaten up and tired. So the number one thing I would say is don't give up and actually temper. Gentlify. Gentlify your actions. Forgive me for channeling Yosemite Sam. Bring some gentleness, bring some ease, bring some moderation to how you are doing things. Mix it up. Be where you are. That would be another thing with temperance, is like be very present. Am I exhausted? Maybe it's time to go to bed. Maybe it's time to take a break rather than continue to push myself. That's what I feel is like what Spirit is showing me as I say that is the Ten of Wands. It's like I could push all the way to the Ten of Wands, or I could go, you know what? Let me build in a break later this week. Let me go into my calendar and make sure that at least I can look forward to the time that I can chill a little bit. It is kind of like we're starting the week right here. And I want us to try to bring that down a little bit. A good way to do that, be where you are. Be where your feet are. Okay, let's look at Tuesday, Spirit. Take it easy on Monday. What do you want us to know about Tuesday for our highest good? A collective message, Spirit, for Tuesday. Jeez. See? Take it easy. I'm telling you. Take it easy Monday. Because Tuesday, here's your yellow light. This is your chance to pivot. Nine of Swords, another nine. Being right here. Like I said, right? Like I'm near the end of my rope. I'm about to boil over. That kind of thing, right? Nine of Swords, Page of Swords. If you do not take care of yourself on Monday, you may find yourself popping off at somebody on Tuesday, maybe saying something that you wish you could take back or edit. So if that sounds like you, right? Maybe you got Aries placements or whatever, and you're kind of somebody who can pop off if you've lost your temper or you're at the end of your rope, like Spirit keeps talking about. A, ease up, and B, with the Page of Swords, there's definitely an element of like telling the truth and clearing the air, but the Page is the most immature, right, of the Swords cards. So the Page may say it in not the most clean, graceful way. The Page, may know what they need to say, but they may not be having the outcome they want in their mind. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like, I just need to tell you that this is bullshit or whatever, rather than the outcome that I want is for this person to act differently or to understand where I'm coming from or whatever, and to speak from that place. You know what I'm saying? Nine of Swords and Page of Swords says very much in your head on Tuesday, circling thoughts, that ruminating that Spirit was talking about. So here's another reminder to be where your feet are, that will help. Speaking of where your feet are, if you can see here in the picture, there's a trap door with a lock on it in the background, right next to this person. There's a way out. And maybe all they see is the lock. In the foreground here is the key. So you can get out. You can change this. And Spirit's like, you can get out of your head, get into your body, be where your feet are, wash the dishes, take the dog for a walk, etc., right? And Page of Swords, tell the truth, but make sure that you are thinking of the outcome that you want to have versus, I just need to say this. I just feel that that will get you a better outcome. So watch your mouth. Watch your mouth on Tuesday. Make sure that you don't, push it from a 9 of Swords to a 10 of Swords by bringing in the Page's sword. Do you know what I'm talking about? You could also get a message that is inconvenient or abrupt from someone else, because these energies can be us and they can also be someone in our life. And I just want to say, 9 of Swords may make you feel like there's no way out or I don't know what to do about this. But Spirit is letting you know there is a key nearby, right? Wherever there's a lock in our life, there is a key and we are meant to find it, okay? So you're not meant to stay stuck. You're meant to search for the key, okay? That's what I hear. Okay. Now Wednesday, Spirit, midweek. What do you want to share with us for our highest good on Wednesday? Gorgeous. What a turnaround. What a turnaround. What a graduation. What a amazing level of maturing happening here. The Sun and the King of Swords. So some of you may listen to this reading before Tuesday, right? And go, ooh, I know exactly what she's talking about and I know exactly what it is I need to say. I'm going to save it up. I'm going to edit it. I'm going to write it down and think about it first. And then on Wednesday is when I'm going to send that email maybe, or arrange the phone call or have the conversation, and come from a kingly place, come from a place of power, come from a place of maturity, come from a place of, I know what outcome I'm trying to get. And so there are certain things I can and should do and not do in order to achieve that outcome. You know what I'm talking about? And the Sun next to the King of Swords is ultimate honesty, ultimate clarity, very straightforward. Spirit's like, it's so straightforward that how could anybody be mad at you? Like, it's just so, this is me, this is how I feel, this is what I'm doing, this is what I want. And the Sun is also a very positive card. So I want to say that having a more expansive, joyful, open outlook serves you, right? As opposed to like a 9 of Swords of like, it's all going to go wrong or it always goes like this. The Sun is like, what if I embrace myself and what I want and what I'm going for, and free myself from thoughts about how maybe it can never happen for me, or maybe I don't deserve it, and blah, 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 blah. Maybe that's not the truth. Maybe the thoughts are the problem. You know what I mean? Just a thought. just something to throw on your proverbial whiteboard and consider. So, King of Swords and the Sun, making yourself incredibly clear and in an extremely empowering way that clears the way ahead too. I feel some of you may be having a conversation with like some kind of authority figure or manager or just somebody that you look up to, King of Swords, whether they literally have control over your life or manage you in some way, or it's just somebody who's like, ah, yes, they are an authority in their field and I trust their expertise. You may have a very clarifying conversation with that person. So be yourself is what I hear with the Sun. Be open, be clear, as opposed to, let's say, like a 7 of Swords situation where, or even like a High Priestess where it's like, play your cards close to your chest. Don't give everything away. Don't let them know. The Sun and the King of Swords is like open book, open book. Okay. Very empowering day, Wednesday. Now, Spirit, let's look at Thursday. What's showing up? What do you want to bring our focus and awareness to for our highest good on Thursday? Empowering cards this week. The Emperor and the Eight of Cups. If I am honest with myself, if I am leading my life in the most organized, professional, mindful way, then I know that there are certain things that I'm indulging in at this moment that are not good for me and that are in fact hindering my growth. So the Emperor, power, structure, discipline, order, right? Logic, containers, the walls that you work within, the rules that you work within, the system that you work within. And then the Eight of Cups. There is something that, ooh, I'm hearing the phrase like, there is something that you need to abandon because it makes you abandon yourself. So, as an example, maybe somebody needs to like give up alcohol or some substance because when I indulge in this thing, this activity, this habit, it has me abandon myself. And it puts me into situations where I end up feeling hurt, lost, left behind, alone. Abandoned is one of the words that Spirit kind of keeps repeating. Eight of Cups is a melancholy card because there was a point in our life where this relationship or this habit or this path was everything to us. And so we took all the time we needed to find these cups, to polish them, to fill them, to stack them just so, only to find that ultimately that water grew stagnant. And that something that maybe once literally contributed to our growth and our expansion is now doing the opposite. What might that be for you? Eight of Cups. Cups are an emotional card, right? So it could well be a relationship, a friendship, something like that that is running its course. We also get emotionally attached to habits and substances and things like that. And so there's an emotional component of like, oh, I don't want to leave it. I don't want to leave it. That's the melancholy, is like, but maybe if I just rearrange the cups, maybe if I, no, it's time to go. It's time to move forward. If you especially want to be your own boss, if you want to be the emperor of your life, if you want to feel more in control, quote unquote, you've got to leave behind this thing that has, I'm also hearing the phrase diminishing returns. Interacting with this thing or doing this habit or whatever has diminishing returns. Every time I try to do it, it feels less good than it used to. Do you know what I'm saying? That's an awakening. That's asking for your attention. So big potential to get really clear and decisive, emperor, yang, active, like I need to change this, I need to do this, I need to go there, I need to leave that, whatever, right? Could make an executive decision on Thursday. Spirit's funny. That's what they just said. Okay. Now let's look at Friday. Spirit, what is showing up on Friday? What do we need to know? Bring our focus and awareness to for our highest good. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. How funny. We got 9 and 9, and then we have 8 and 8. So, Friday. The star, which also happens to actually reduce to a number 8. She's number 17. So she is the grandmommy of all of the 8s, right? So working on faith, going with what we feel that we must do, pouring our essence into the world. She's naked, right? She has nothing to hide. There's no shame. There's no dressing it up and making it look better for everybody. It's just like, this is me and this is what I have. And the Eight of Cups has, you know, I said that she's the grandmommy of all the 8s. The Eight of Cups is about going on faith. I don't know that there's something better out there for me. I just know that this isn't it. And if this isn't it, ergo, it must be out there, right? And so I have to follow the North Star. It's not the sun card that day, right? It's the star. It's when it gets dark, I can only orient by my North Star or my own guiding principle or my path, what I've chosen, right? And I can only navigate that way and go in wholehearted. And what does that do? That creates tremendous growth. Eight of Pentacles, I see somebody sitting like faithfully working their skill, working their craft, right? And what Spirit is saying to me right now is it's taking your life, you know, come back to the Emperor and everything else we've been talking about in this reading. It's taking your life into your own hands. And it's saying, like, I'm not going to wait for somebody else to give this to me or say it's okay for me to do that or whatever it is. I want this. I want to work at this. I want to do this. This is my one fucking wild and precious life. How do I want to spend my time? A lot of you have something that it's like, if you would work at this, it would just give you pleasure. Maybe it brings you money. Eight of Pentacles definitely indicates that, like, the growing of your skills, the dedicated, consistent work can grow your money. But regardless, it will grow your joy, which is something else the Eight of Pentacles implies. And the Star, it will make you feel aligned. It will make you feel like I have found my place. That's what I'm hearing. I've found my place within, the cosmos, within the grand plan, and I'm doing what I came here to do. That's something that I'm feeling. And so it's like, it brings me great joy to do this thing. And Spirit's like, don't overcomplicate it. Joy is one of the best indicators that you're doing something you're meant to do. Now, be clear, I didn't say pleasure, right? I didn't say, for example, and no shade to heroin addicts, okay? I didn't say pleasure is the key to, like, oh, I'm on path or I'm doing something that my soul craves, but joy is, and that's a different thing, okay? Okay. Hey, we're living in the age of the internet and I have to wait for somebody to go, well, actually. Okay, let's talk about Saturday. Made it to the weekend, Spirit. What do you want all of us to be aware of and tuned in for on Saturday? A good decision made in your favor is what I hear on Saturday. Joyful news. We've got a lot of major arcana popping up this week. Justice and the Page of Cups. Again, I'm hearing a decision made in your favor. For some of you, it's literally like a legal decision. We bought the thing. We signed the lease. We signed off on the marriage or the divorce or the partnership or the whatever. It's a joyful thing, whatever it is. So it's like, even if you are signing off on the divorce, it's like, I'm free. This is a wish come true. So justice. Here's the other thing that I'm hearing, because for some of you, it's like making something official. It's good news that is official. It's something being like, I'm seeing like a rubber stamp. It's like, yes, this can happen now. We made it official. And for others of you, it feels like, what is the decision? What is the choice that you need to make? And Spirit's like, they're being kind of punny. What is the choice that you need to make for good? For good. You get the pun? Page of Cups is innocent, it's sweet, it's wish fulfillment, it's heart open, it's good, it's pure, it's kind. So what is the decision that you can make that feels aligned with, like, the purest, kindest part of you, and also the part of you that is childish, the part of you that wishes, the part of you that fantasizes, the part of you that can imagine a different reality? Tune into that part of you and make a decision from that place and see if something magical doesn't happen. That's what I hear. Crooked Sunday. The end of our week and the beginning of a new one, Spirit. What do you want to bring our focus, our awareness, our attention, and action to on Sunday? Beautiful, 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 beautiful. The Chariot and the Three of Cups celebrating, grabbing the reins and moving in the right direction. The Chariot feels like action, and accepting the challenge is something that I hear. Joyfully accepting the challenge and saying, this is what I want, and it makes me so happy to go after it, that whatever challenges and obstacles and opponents I meet along the way, I'm all in. I'm down. I'm fully ready. This is not based on a fantasy of everything going right. This is based on, I'm really fully ready to take this on. That's something that I hear. Some of you may be taking it on with other people. Three of Cups, someone that you have like a joyful, a friendship, a synchronicity, like a synergy with, is something that I'm hearing. And I want to say, as opposed to, let's say, the Three of Pentacles, which is like, okay, it's just strict collaboration, right? But the Three of Cups is like, we have fun together. We create joy and harmony together. So who makes you feel like you can take over the world? Who makes you feel like I can take on anything? Are you working with that person or those people? Maybe some of you are literally working in a group of three, or you're considering it three-part harmony, right? Together, we can really pull these reins in the right direction. The Chariot is, to me, the ultimate victory card. It's the overcoming of obstacles, it's willpower, it's taking the reins. It's, the opposite of the kind of Nine of Swords of like, oh no, I'm stuck. Okay, I got something. I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna make something happen. And there is joy and community in that. Some of you may be, we're living in radical times. Some of you may be joining groups where it's like, I'm chasing ice out of my city. Like, I'm joyfully taking my power into my hands and moving in the direction that feels right to me. That's something that I hear. So some of you might be like engaging in mutual aid or joining new groups that like you never would have joined before, except that we are living in radical times. And Spirit is like, the more joyful you are, the more capacity you have. That's like your pilot light. This is what Spirit is saying. So keep that motherfucker lit, you know? Okay. Let's get into the elemental forecast. Let's talk to all of the signs and see what Spirit wants to share. And this week we will start with the air signs. We will start with Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius people. Remember, you might have Sun in Aries, but if you've got Moon in Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or several planets in Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, there's going to be information for you in here, okay? Okay. Spirit, what is showing up and what do you want to bring our attention to? Beautiful for Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And what about, Spirit, our money, work, jobs, opportunities? Beautiful. And I want to know, Spirit, about the mental climate. What is the flavor of our thoughts, or the words being exchanged? What's on our mind? And what do we need to know about it for our highest good? Yes, indeed. And what about emotions, Spirit, feelings, relationships? For Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, say. And finally, Spirit, what about their fire? Their light, drive, creativity, passion. What's lighting up or firing up? The air signs. So air signs, first card up, your overarching theme of the week is gorgeous, the sun. Hello, the sun. Being yourself, standing out, joyfully standing out and being yourself, allowing yourself to be perceived, going with what feels natural is something else that Spirit says, as opposed to, let's say, what sounds perfect on paper. So, Two of Swords. This person is stuck. Do I do this or that? Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Do I stay or do I go now? Are any of these rhyming for you, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius? Notice how her back is to the water and the moon. She is not bringing emotions or intuition into account at all, and that's why she's stuck, because she's trying to do it only by logic. And if she only goes by logic, she will always make the wrong decision, because she will not be including in the equation, right, air signs? I'll appeal to your logic. She's not factoring into the equation feelings, her soul, etc., right? So don't worry about, does it look good on paper? Factor in, how do I feel in my body when I do this thing or when I think about this thing? Where do I want to lean? You'll find that there is a natural place you're leaning toward or away from. So bring it out of your head, okay? Get into your body. If you can't really get into your heart or your emotions or your intuition, if that sounds too wacky and out there and whatever, get into your body. How does my body feel? Beautifully, we have the Two of Pentacles as a counterpoint to the Two of Swords. So when you're dealing with two swords, try to change them into two pentacles. Let me start working with and actually changing and moving things around, as opposed to, Spirit is showing me somebody looking at a chessboard and trying to like think 3 steps ahead. It's like, actually, this is not that. Let me actually take a little bit of action Again, Two of Swords is like, I don't want to do the wrong thing, so I'd rather take no action than a wrong action. And Spirit's like, actually, you may find Two of Pentacles, there's a lot more ease and fun if you will begin to play with how I schedule myself or how I do that thing that I'm trying to do. Rather than like, no, I can't do it because I haven't got a perfect plan. Let me just fuck around and see like, well, does it work when I do it like that? Oh, that wasn't good. Okay, let me try it like this. Oh, this is a little better. Do you know what I'm saying? You're going to get clearer. You're going to feel better and more empowered when you do it that way too. A lot more fun, a lot more joyful. We have a Stalker card, Three of Cups. We had that as one of our Sunday cards. So perhaps air signs for you, that three-part harmony, that working with people that are fun to me. For some of you, I hear it's like, I'm working with my sister, I'm working with my sibling, like, or someone who feels like that, right? Like someone who just feels like we're family, we're meant to be, we're soul sisters, we're soul family, right? I really love that energy. And what I feel about the Three of Cups people is they celebrate you. They're not celebrating the version of you that you wish you could be, or if you were perfect, it would be like that. They love you, and they love to see you happy and joyful and doing your thing, which is what the sun implies, okay? Now, your one other little piece of static is you might be doing too much. Now, we're living in the era of doing too much, so the Ten of Wands really shouldn't freak anybody out too hard, but it should let you know that there might be an easier, more pleasurable way to get to the finish line you're trying to reach than trying to do everything yourself. And I also hear multitasking is not the fucking move. Multitasking is not the move. You may need to move things around. You may need to accomplish, right, multiple things, but you should be doing those multiple things one thing at a time, okay? This will take longer and be a lot harder. That's what I hear. And we could be having a good ass time. Look at her carrying just her one wand with her flag on it, okay? Not 10, just one. It's all good. Okay. I hope that that is helpful, air signs. Keep your heart and your body in it, not just your head. And now let's talk to the earth signs. Let's talk to Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn people. Spirit, I want to know the overarching theme, what you want to point out for the highest good, always for the joy, alignment, fulfillment, ease of earth sign people. Spirit, what do they need to know? Another familiar face. Okay. What about when it comes to money, resources, jobs, opportunities? When it comes to Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn's resources, Spirit, what do you want to bring our attention to? Gorgeous. Very earth sign coded. And what about the mind? In the mental realm, Spirit, what is the climate like in the heads? Hey, earth signs, you could be coming up with something really cool this week. Let's look at emotions, relationships. Spirit, what is the emotional climate like for the earth signs, for Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn? What do you want to bring to their attention for their highest good? All right, and finally, what about their fire? Their spirit, energy, drive. What is lighting up or firing up the earth signs? Okay. Any of you have air sign placements? That's the first question. Gorgeous, gorgeous overarching theme. You got to trust your soul. You got to trust your faith, your intuition. You earth signs, and listen, I know I'm talking to the earth signs. This is maybe the most difficult demographic to say this to. You got to tune into your intuition. You got to talk to spirit. I just feel like you could get some very clear answers this week. Ace of Swords, some epiphanies, as a matter of fact, from tuning into spirit. So the star says you're in a perfect position to be able to find your North Star and walk toward it. Now, for an earth sign, that's scary. For an earth sign, it's like sun all day. I do not want to feel my way to the right thing. I don't want to intuit my way to the right thing. I want to just do the plan. Can I just do the plan? But Spirit's like, hey, there's some really special ingredients for the plan. You know, you got a good plan, but there's some special star sprinkles that want to go on top of your plan. Okay? And maybe pulling a card or two when you think about your plan, or maybe having a meditation or a long walk, right, without the headphones in or whatever, where you're going to let this problem or this creative thing you're trying to make or whatever it is, the change you're trying to make in life, the improvement, getting on path, etc. Create the time and the space and the container for something to drop into your head. Okay? And for an earth sign, let me remind you, you don't have to meditate or pray if you don't happen to be that kind. You could take the long walk. You could take the long bath, right? With like wordless music, with some candles, just lay back and let yourself be in your body. And you may find that, bloop, an answer just drops in. That's what I hear. Okay? Okay. You could get a lot accomplished this week. We've got 9 of Pentacles, and Spirit echoes that over here in our repeated 10 of Wands. Now, again, we're living in the era where we're all feeling like this. We're all doing too much. We're all multitasking. We are all taking on more than we necessarily would prefer to in order to get to a finish line, in order to make enough money, etc. But I will say, 9 of Pentacles plus 10 of Wands says you could be feeling quite proud of yourself for taking something over the finish line. Even if it's like I'm dropping these 10 wands at the finish line and then I'm going back and I'm continuing to work, I can see, literally, like I can see the tangible results, the fruits of my labor, and I can enjoy them. So 9 of Pentacles, standing on your own 2 feet, able to pat yourself on the back because you are the one who made it happen, right? I want to say, earth signs, that there's no one's going to give you a medal for taking on too much. It's just what I'm hearing is like, who are you doing that for? Who are we impressing? Nobody, right? And if you are impressing somebody by breaking your back and doing too much, like, screw that person. Like, ugh. That's what I feel. Because doing too much, you can get a lot done, but you might also do too much. 7 of Cups, I could diffuse my energy. I could scatter my energy because I have 7 goals instead of 2 or 3. So ask yourself, earth signs, am I in it, or I'm like Spirit talked about at the beginning of the reading. Part of me is projected into the future. Part of me is in a parallel reality. Part of me is back in the past trying to make a different decision, even though I already made that decision. I'm here now. 7 of Cups says focus. And you clearly have tremendous capability to focus today, okay? And to get a really, or this week, and to get a really good answer, really clear answer. So when you feel inclined to do too much, stop. When you feel inclined to multitask, stop. Remind yourself, actually, the more present and focused I am on the task at hand, you might be working on a spreadsheet or balancing your fucking checkbook or whatever the fuck, and suddenly again, bloop, the answer drops in because I was fully immersed and present in whatever I was doing. I was walking the dog, I was taking the shower, I was working out, I was whatever, and then, hey, there's a great idea. There is some wonderful clarity, and I can take this all the way. I have faith. I will follow this all the way to the end of the path, and I will succeed. That is something that I hear. Okay? Okay. I hope that that is helpful, earth signs. Now, let's move on to the fire signs. Let's talk to Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius people. Spirit, what do Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius people need to know for their highest good? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. What is the overarching theme, Spirit? What do you want to bring to their attention for their highest good? Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Gorgeous. Hey, literally the Sagittarius card. Let's see what we got here. Let's look at jobs, resources, money, opportunities, jobs, resources, projects, income, Spirit. What do Aries, Leo, and Sag need to know for their highest good? Pretty gorgeous so far. Let's look at the mental climate. What's going on in their mind, Spirit? What kind of words and thoughts characterize this week for Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius? Okay. What about emotionally? The realm of feelings and relationships, Spirit, for Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. What do they need to know? Okay. Hey. And finally, what do the fire signs need to know, Spirit, when it comes to their own fire? Their creativity, their joy, their drive. What is lighting them up? Fighting for what you believe in, getting something accomplished. You have pretty gorgeous cards here, fire signs. First card up, overarching theme for the week is temperance, is take it easy, is balance it out. She's got 1 foot in the water and she's got 1 foot on land. She is not trying to do anything to one extreme. It's not all yin, it's not all yang, it's whole, right? Carl Jung said, I'd rather be whole than good. And I really love, there is at the end of this path a beautiful sun rising. So down the path of the middle way, as we might say, right? No extremes, middle way, balanced out. As we take that path, we find clarity. We find joy, the sun, right? We find a surge of personal power is something that I'm hearing. And you are surging. You are surging this week. Fire signs, 7 of Wands, standing up for what you believe in and fighting for it with passion and with confidence. I'm hearing like a surge of confidence. And I really like this because you got 2 sevens here. It feels like a surge of confidence to fight for what you care about and to stop fighting about and for what you don't. To let go and to walk away from fights that are not yours to fight. And one way that Spirit is showing this to me is like 7 of Wands. I have a cause that I really care about and I want to put my back and my fire into fighting for that cause, right? Now, a 7 of Swords version might be like, and I have this family member or in-law or whatever that constantly is drawing me into these little fights or these little, little back and forth, these little jab exchanges. That is taking energy from me that I don't want taken. That is an unuseful and unremarkable fucking way of spending my time. So I'm going to let that go. So 7 of Swords, what burdens do you need to drop off? There's certain things that are worth fighting for, and I absolutely see you fighting for those things, but I also see you choosing a couple of things that, again, temperance, middle way. There's some things that I will fight for with everything that I have, and there are some things that I will never, ever fight for. You know what I'm talking about? There are some things that I'm ready to leave behind and things that are not my fight, and I can recognize that too. That's what I hear. Now, looking over at jobs, money, opportunities, you have the gorgeous 8 of Pentacles, growing your skills, growing your money. And again, it's by right of little by little, by right of experimenting. She's trading the cups back and forth, right? So that the water always stays fresh. Movement is what keeps it fresh, right? But it doesn't have to be breakneck speed type of movement. It can literally be this. It can literally be just pouring it back and forth, keeps it oxygenated, keeps it from growing stagnant, keeps it juicy and lovely to sip from. Much like your Ace of Cups. I hear some people might get some surprising news, and it seems like very good news, fire signs. Feels like somebody, Spirit's showing me like cool waters pouring over a burn, where it's like, oh, thank God, this was resolved. This person reached out and said, I'm sorry I did that, or I forgive you, or whatever. Like I'm feeling like a break in the dam in a very good, positive way. Ace of Cups, it opens up new possibilities in the realm of emotion. Some of you might have like an old friend or maybe an old flame reach out to you this week. That's just something that I'm hearing. Like that is just what I'm hearing from spirit. And some of you may decide. So it's like I'm hearing two paths. Some people hear from that person. It's like, oh my God, yes, come back into my life. Wonderful, beautiful, right? And for some people, it's like, oh, it's you. No, you can go away forever. That's just what I hear. So which one is it for you? Question mark. Wow. That's a lot of hair. And this is also reminding me, I found out yesterday that I've been living a lie. I had one certain birth time my whole life that I've been plugging into every astrological chart I ever made for myself. And yesterday, going through old photos that I got sent, I found a little birth card from the hospital where I was born. Little 40-minute birth time difference. And for those who know what a huge difference that can make, a couple of planets got shifted around. I thought maybe my rising sign was going to be different. I was like, my whole life has been a lie. Okay, that was just an interlude. Now, let's talk to the water signs. Finally, let's talk to Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Spirit, what do my watery friends need to know this week? What is the overarching theme? That when they bring their focus to this, it helps bring them into alignment. Spirit, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Okay. Any of you got fire sign placements? Let's look at money, jobs, income, opportunities. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Okay, I'm seeing a pattern here. What about the mental realm? What kind of words, messages, thoughts? What is the mental climate? And what about emotionally? Relationally, for Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. What do they need to know, Spirit? Beautiful, for their highest good. And let's look at their fire. What is lighting up the water signs this week, Spirit? Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Refreshing, as one of the words that I'm hearing, refreshing energy. So here she is, she's back. It's temperance, it's take it easy, it's keep gently mixing up the elements of your life, and that is what will help things grow. Gently mixing, trading back and forth, reciprocity, also indicated by the Six of Pentacles. I'm hearing a couple things with that. So one thing that I'm hearing is literally this week, it would be a good week to look at your budget and to balance it out, to rearrange some things, to see where you could, oh, I'll move this money over here, and that in the end will make me more money. Traveling down the middle way, taking it easy, being a little bit temperate about it. If I have it, I give it. And if I need it, I ask for it, because both of those things feel normal, feel healthy to me. Okay? Don't hold back. Water signs, this can be one of the dangers for you because you are so very emotional and intuitive that sometimes the world might make you feel like you should be thinking and figuring out and calculating what to do next, right? Not your bailiwick, not your strength, right? Your strength is your emotion and your intuition. So if you find yourself feeling stuck, ask yourself if it's because you're trying to calculate the right move and like figure out the right move. And remember to actually be gentle about it and to not think that there's only one right answer. There are good strategies. That's something that I'm hearing. There's not one right answer. There are good strategies. And leaving your emotions and your intuition out of it is not going to help you make the best decision. Okay? It's actually not going to make things clearer. I feel like maybe there's a feeling of like, well, if I could just leave my emotions out of it, I could be clear. No, that's just like white supremacy, patriarchy, reason matters above all, blah, 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 blah. No, especially not for a water sign. Okay? Okay. Speaking of your water, beautiful card, Ace of Cups. Again, I'm curious how many of you might have fire placements. because you've got some similarities here. Ace of Cups, breaking down a wall, breaking down a dam, new emotional energy entering into your life. For some people, this can look like falling in love. For some people, this can look like falling, spirits like, ooh, finding yourself actually free from, like getting over the hangover of a breakup is what I hear for some people, where it's like, and all of a sudden something broke and now I feel free. Now I feel like I'm like flowing, like I'm rushing forward, like water coming off a dam, right? Trust your feelings, even if at times they are overwhelming. That is something that I hear. That's growth, okay? There's growth at hand when you do that. There's new revelations that come with examining that emotional energy. And then you have another ace, Ace of Wands, new beginning, new passion, new emotion. So again, this feeling of like, hey, for some of you, this could be like falling in love. This could be reunion. This could be, I'm hearing actually the word reactivation, which is really weird. It's like, oh, I've reactivated this connection or this hobby or this whatever. So what might you be reactivating this week? Very interesting. So a surge is something else that I hear, a surge of emotional energy and passion. And all the more reason when we're having this amazing, these sparkling, gorgeous surges of passion and emotion to take it really easy, to take it a little at a time, right? Two of Cups that she's holding in her hands, she keeps moving them back and forth so gently, which keeps the water nice and fresh and clean and oxygenated, and it can never get too stagnant. So you don't need to do too much, okay? You can actually do a little at a time, and it actually serves you much more to be gentle than to try to be perfect or to try to get it right. Does that make sense? I'm hearing like there's a way to get it good, but thinking about getting it right is not exactly going to give you the best quotients, the best solutions, right? If we're leaving emotion and intuition out of the equation, we're always going to get the wrong answer. That's what I hear. Okay. Thank you for being here, y'all. I really hope this is helpful as always. If you ever want to get a personal reading, the way to do that is right here. I appreciate you. I hope you have a beautiful week, and I hope I'll see you again next Monday. Till then, bye.